Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the English news. Here are the headlines. In national events, heavy rainfall is recorded throughout the national territory. So this rainfall is recorded in the national territory, and on continental news, Buhari and Theresa May signed a security agreement. If you join, thank you to watching Djibouti channel. The representative of the Republic of Djibouti to the United Nations, Mr. Ziad Ali, spoke yesterday in front of the member of the UN Security Council about the border dispute between the Republic of Djibouti and Eritrea, indicating that the mediation launched by the United Nations with the support of several countries, including Qatar, remains stalled. He has remained without a solution to the intransigence of the Asmara regime. He said during this speech, Ambassador Ziad Ali did not fail to greet the memory of former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. The latter had played a crucial role in the resolutions of many crises. According to him, Mr. Kofi Annan immensely contributed to the preservation of peace in the world and to carry out many mediations. Mr. Ziad Ali reaffirmed on this occasion the commitment of the Republic of Djibouti to preservation of peace and understanding between neighboring countries. He pleaded for a peaceful settlement of the different border between the Republic of Djibouti and the Asmara regime, which denies any occupations of a border area in the Dumaira sector. Asmara continues, moreover, to deny that she holds in captivity many of our soldiers. The interventions of our ambassador intervened to clarify the position of the Republic of Djibouti following the latest development in the sub-region, where diplomatic relations between the one hand Addis Ababa and Asmara and Mogadishu and Asmara on the other hand have been restored. In the event that the failure of the good offices proceeds a form of mediations, the International Court of Justice must be used to ensure a final and binding settlement, the ambassador said. Djibouti wants the Secretary General, with the support of the UN Security Council, to undertake a new mediations effort, but that this mediation is limited in time, he added. Due to the Muslim New Year holiday, which will take place this year on September 11, the start of the school year initially scheduled for September 10 and 11 is postponed to September 12 and February 2008, respectively, for basic, middle and high school. The National Human Rights Commission, in partnership with the UNFPA, closed yesterday morning in the meeting room of Sheraton Hotel a training workshop of civil society and journalists on reproductive law and female genital mutilation, who took place from 28 and 29 August. The aim is to raise the awareness of society and journalists facing the public in order to disseminate and enable citizens to fully understand reproductive rights and the effect of female genital mutilation, and to report it to the police and the public. Justice to save the life of the little girl. This workshop brought together the several journalists from the RTD and Al-Qarn Nation and other civil society actors, professors and lawyers. The launch of the workshop was shared by the Secretary General of the National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Jibril, and Mrs. Amina Abdul Qadir Mohammed, in charge of the gender program of the UNFPA, and so the participation of the President of the CPA, Mrs. Aisha Ahmed Yusuf. The ceremony closed with the presentations of the certificate to the various speakers at this training, which lasted 2 days. A torrential rain fell last night in the capital Djibouti, accompanied by strong wind. The rain started last night around 10 local time. The images are filmed in full by one of our camera who was on the scene during this rain. The rain showered the entire capital and Humbly Wadi emerged from its bed and the water flooded the Vietnam district. The water caused significant material damage. Residents were washed away the property. The car were engulfed by the water and the level exceeded the Italian bridge. By the inhabitants of the district do not report until now any human and animal losses. Surprised residents have spent a night of nightmare by the normal weather of the summer. In the morning, the water level fell sharply. The Wad Humbly still flows, but less than last night. The water is still present on roadways and most residents of the neighborhood are walking up in the water. The various speakers at the microphone explain the damage caused by the rain on their fields and the property they lost during the flood. Peace Cable International Networking has signed an agreement with Cybernet and Djibouti Telecom. The Memorandum of Understanding and Partnership Agreement with the Pakistani Cybernet and Djibouti Telecom at the 4th Asia-Pacific Supermarine Network Forum. The remaining landing agreements will also be signed in the next 2 weeks. Represent a key step in the delivery plan that includes the permit application work in each country. Geographically, the Peace Cable will connect the three most populated continents of the world, Asia, Africa and Europe, with basic connectivity in Pakistan, Djibouti, as well as Egypt and Kenya and France, providing critical interconnection with Asia based on the shared vision of trust, cooperation and win-win. Several parties are committed to building an open system concept to improve latency, high capacity and neutral bandwidth services of regional customers. And now let's move to continental news in Nigeria, where Theresa May emphasized security cooperation to address the problem of Boko Haram and the Islamic State group in West Africa. The two leaders signed an agreement providing for military training for the Nigerian army, but also support for the respect of human rights. Second African stage of Theresa May in Nigeria, the British Prime Minister met on Wednesday with the Prime President Muhammad Buhari in Abuja, the federal capital. But on the British side, the priority of the visit was undoubtedly a focus on trade agreement as Britain leaves the European Union. Theresa May must find new economic allies and renegotiate the non-UA trade agreement. Trade between Nigeria and Britain amount to €4.6 billion in 2017, a figure that Britain would like to double by 2030. French President Emmanuel Macron proposed Thursday Helsinki that establishment for a quasi-automatic solidarity between European states in defense that would involve their interventions if one of them was attacked. It's clear that Europe is assuming its strategic autonomy and strengthening its solidarity in defense, Macron told the press conference with his Finnish counterpart. For that reason, he proposed that the quasi-automatic reinforced solidarity be envisaged, which will mean that among the member states that will agree with the reform, we can have real solidarity of interventions if a state is attacked. And now we return in Nigeria, that the Prime Minister of Britain meet the presidents of Nigeria. Let's follow this report.
In Nigeria, the British Prime Minister Theresa May signed several bilateral agreements concerning the fight against illegal migration, security, and especially against the jihadist group Boko Haram. Theresa May has also signed a commercial agreement to offset the economic losses expected from Brexit. The Prime Minister met in Abuja with his Nigerian counterpart Muhammadu Buhari. He assured him that the next general election scheduled for February 2019 would be free, transparent and credible. The two leaders made no statement to the press, and access to the journalists was particularly restricted. A statement from the Nigerian presidency, however, said Theresa May insists on security and defense cooperation to address the problem of Boko Haram and the Islamic State group in West Africa. Theresa May and Muhammadu Buhari signed an agreement providing for not only military training for the Nigerian army, but also support for the respect of human rights and closer cooperation between our two countries, explained Nigeria Foreign Minister Geoffrey Onyenema to the press. Also, on the agenda, trade agreements which are a priority for the British in the context of Brexit while Britain leaves the European Union, said the Nigerian minister.
In France, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, stressed the importance to strengthen the relations between the countries who are in the European Union. For more details, let's follow Mohamed Adel.
In Helsinki, the establishment of a quasi-automatic solidarity between European states in defense that would involve their intervention if one of them was attacked. It is clear that Europe is assuming strategic autonomy and strengthening its solidarity in defense, Macron told on a press conference with his Finnish counterpart. For that reason, he proposed that a quasi-automatic reinforced solidarity be envisaged, which will mean that among the member states that will agree with this reform, we can have a real solidarity of intervention if a state is attacked. This will require refounding the European Treaty, in particular Article 47.2 of the Treaty of Lisbon on mutual assistance between states, which France launched for the first time after the attacks of 13 September 2015 in Paris. This reform would allow the EU to have a kind of reinforced Article 5, the President said, referring to NATO provision that an armed attack against one of the member states is considered as an attack directed against all parties, thus triggering assistance to the rescue of the state concerned. Emmanuel Macron said that this advance was not contrary to NATO, which remains an important and strategic alliance. But we need stronger solidarity between Europeans, he says. The EU is trying to adapt to the new geopolitical context linked to President Donald Trump's desire to reduce U.S. involvement in the defense of Europe. A European defense fund must be set up in 2019 to develop the military capabilities of the member states and to promote the strategic independence of the EU. Paris has also initiated with 8 partners a European intervention group to be able to quickly conduct a military operation, evacuation in a country at war, or provide assistance in case of disaster. Measures to strengthen joint defense initiative will be proposed in the coming months, said Mr. Macron entourage.
Here we arrive at the end of this edition news for tonight. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.